All right, so I'd say my beard hair is somewhere in between here. Am I 30% white? No, 50? I'm almost 100% white. So I would need to intermix for coverage if I were going to cover my beard hair here. Ian here, Senior National Trainer for Schwarzkopf Professional. In this episode of The Breakdown, it's going to be pretty meaty. We want to talk about all things gray coverage that we have under the Schwarzkopf Professional umbrella. There's a lot. As a stylist behind the chair, it's important. This is the meat and potatoes, if you will, of your clientele. Gray coverage clients are the ones that pay your mortgage. Next to your blonding and highlighting colors, the gray coverage clients are the ones, I call them the 2-weekers or the 3-weekers. They came back most often. We want to talk about all the options that we have, whether it's IGORA, Color 10, TBH, IGORA VIBRANCE, you've got plenty of options. Let's start with IGORA Royal. This is our backbone of the business. It's our bread and butter. It is our permanent hair color brand. And with this permanent hair color brand, you do get amazing, amazing coverage. To start, I'm going to walk you through our swatch book and just kind of maybe how to navigate that. When you open the swatch book to the first page, you'll see that we have all of our naturals listed here, ranging anywhere from -0, which is our natural, -00, natural extra, -1, which is the cendre or blue-violet tone direction, and then our -4 series, which is our beige or that muted, soft, cool gold color. Now, looking at the bottom of each one of these series cards, you'll see a %. What does that mean? It means that the series you're looking at has either up to 70% coverage, no coverage, or in this case, up to a 100% coverage. Now, most of us who understand how to mix for gray coverage understand that you're likely going to either use just full natural to get coverage, or your client is looking for something more of like maybe a fashion shade, for example. So we do have a formula for how to mix for gray coverage using IGORA Royal. That formula looks something like this. Client comes in, she wants to be copper, but I know that I can't put just straight copper on her or his white hair, or it's going to be flaming. It's going to be screaming Cheeto orange. We don't want that. You need something to ground it. So the formula for this looks something like, my client wants to be a 7-77, level 7, copper, copper, or intense copper. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about right now, we have another video in the series that completely breaks down our numbering system. So pop over there really quick and watch that, and then you can join me back here to follow along with the formulas. So if my client is looking to be of more intense copper, that formula would look like 2 parts 7-77 to 1 part anything you see here in the Agora Royal Naturals family. So you could mix 2 parts 7-77 and maybe choose 1 part 7-0 to brown it out a little bit. Or if that client has really stubborn gray or white hair, I could mix it with 1 part of my 7-00. Now let's say our client wants like that natural mimicked effect where redheads naturally tend to get slightly mousy as they get older. I could do 2 parts 7-77 and 1 part 7-1, the cendre blue-violet, kind of cooling off that copper. Or if your client just really wants to go for it and be as bright as possible, I could do 2 parts 7-77 and then 1 part 7-4. This is that soft muted gold. The gold will help support that 7-77 end result. So we've talked about really how to intermix for gray coverage. Again, you could use any of these by themselves, but now you know how to intermix if your client wants more of a fashion shade alongside a natural to help ground it and make sure that you get real good coverage. But it doesn't stop. Wait, there's more. We have a range called IGORA ROYAL ABSOLUTES. This range is a range that's completely 100% dedicated to clients who have over 50, 70, 90% gray or white hair. What's cool about the absolutes and why are they different? Well, for starters, they're already pre-mixed for you. If you look at the box here, it says 6-70. This would be a level 6 with a primary tone direction of copper and the secondary backup of natural or neutral. It's already built in for you. Remember the color we just talked about? 2 parts copper, 1 part natural? This is already built in for you. It's 6-70, level 6 copper with some natural. All you do is take this one tube, mix it up with your Agora Royal oil developer, either 20 or 30 volume, which is recommended, and you'll get full coverage without the need to intermix. It's really great. Let's say though, the pandemic happened. People are growing their hair out. Some people don't want to color their hair much anymore. I don't want to lose them as a color client. They still come to me for haircuts, blow dries, what have you. But how do I get them to embrace the gray? I personally had clients that, they'd come in growing their gray, white, silver hair out, and they said, oh, my mom, my grandma had the most beautiful silver hair. But you're 50, not 80. You'll get there. So I want to refine the tone of my client's gray or white hair. We have a whole range that's dedicated to those clients. These are called the Agora Royal Silver Whites. They come in shades like silver, dove gray, gray lilac, slate gray. What these will do is deposit some tone on the salt, but they cannot do anything to lift the pepper. So either it's a gray reduction with deposit on the salt, or just refining to make sure that that white is really silver and beautifully bright. We've talked about a lot of options, but really at the end of the day, how do I know what I'm truly dealing with when it comes to the percentage of white that my client has? In the back of the Agora Royal swatch book, we have this little card right here. This is a tool for you to use to really accurately assess how much gray or what percentage of white hair am I dealing with. The bottom 4 strands on this card tell me what 90, 70, 50, and 30% gray look like on a natural level 4. And then at the top, what 30, 50, 70, and 90% white look like on a natural level 7. Let's put it to practice. All right, so I'd say my beard hair is somewhere in between here. Am I 30% white? No, 50? I'm almost 100% white. So I would need to intermix for coverage if I were going to cover my beard hair here. But it's a really great tool that you can use just to kind of put in your client's hair and really figure out how much gray or what percentage of white hair am I truly dealing with. Tons of options as well. We have TBH. It is another permanent hair color line in the Schwarzkopf Professional portfolio. It has 50% less ammonia than our traditional Agora Royal color. So this is going to give you a very natural highs and lows effect when it comes to gray coverage. You will get, I'll say, up to 100% coverage with TBH, but it's not the same kind of solid, intense, vibrant coverage you get from Agora Royal. This is going to give you that softer kind of lived-in effect with natural highs and lows, which means that its coverage, it's just a different kind of coverage. It's like the next generation of permanent hair color coverage for the next generation of clientele. So that's another option if you're not looking for that solid, even, vibrant, intense coverage that Agora Royal can give you. So that's a step in this direction for clients who maybe don't want really solid coverage. But last up, let's not forget, with Agora Vibrance, I can achieve up to 70% gray or white hair blending when I mix my Agora Vibrance color with my Agora Vibrance Activator Lotion 4% 13 volume. Now you'll see here, Agora Vibrance has a very similar concept of a 7-00 or a level 7 intense natural to really get the maximum amount of blending that I can get from a demi-permanent on a client with less commitment than I would need from a permanent hair color. So as you can see, we've got a lot of different options for gray coverage, gray blending. We have options that are pre-mixed for you. We have options that you can customize for that client truly what those needs are. We have a tool that shows what I'm actually working with when I'm working with gray or silver or white hair. We have options that show what my clients could get if they don't want to cover their hair, including our Agora Royal Silver Whites, and pretty much everything in between. So I hope we got you covered with information with all the things that we have for great coverage in all of the brands you see here in the Schwarzkopf Professional portfolio. Please comment below, tell us what your challenges are, let us know what that client looks like, and we can help you formulate for the perfect coverage. Thanks for joining today. Don't forget to comment and definitely subscribe for more educational content.